Okay. Can we hear the music?
No, but it's in your head. Oh, probably in your ears.
That's all right. That's all right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. Thank you for joining us today on the podcast called The Sexy Senior Citizen. It is not about being a sex kitten. It is about wellness, health, and training in order to get to that part. Let me give you a formal introduction for those of you who have not heard. This is the Sexy Senior Citizen podcast, where aging is celebrated, confidence is contagious, and where we celebrate all about you. So, we want to help you live the best life with no expiration date. How to stay sleek, sexy, and strong as you age. This is a place for empowerment, for being vibrant, staying stylish and strong inside and out, from fitness and wellness to mindset and self care. We'll explore the secrets of aging with grace, confidence, and a whole lot of fun. So, whether you're redefining your golden years or just getting started on your journey to feeling fabulous, you're in the right place. Let's embrace this chapter together because sexy has no age limit. Ready to shine? Let's get started. Good morning, Jennifer. How are you doing
Hello.
today?
I am doing wonderful today. How about you?
I'm doing great. I see you're in your fitness outfit. Look at those guns. Look at that shoulder. Woo! Could we be talking about fitness today?
Let's get physical. Physical.
That's right. Olivia Newton-John. I love that song. And that
Mhm.
is just perfect because only those in our age group would know that song.
That's right. That's right.
Ah, yes, today I want to talk about getting physical and it doesn't include cardio.
Mhm.
Look, when I was growing up in the fitness industry, I
Mhm.
got into bodybuilding because I was looking for something to do, but I never realized that lifting weights has so much more to do than with just gaining muscles. It helped me to develop a sense of confidence and inner strength that I would not have had an opportunity to develop. But as I grew older and got into more specifics with coaching, teaching, and training, and understanding the physiology of change and what muscle does, I realized that that is a key element in physical fitness. Having muscle is critical, especially for women. And I
Mhm.
go into the gyms all the time and I see tons of women on the cardio machine. And for every 10 guys in front of the weights, you'll see one girl. Women are so afraid to lift weights, even to this day. And I just cannot, for the life of me, understand it. Do you think that that's about the same in your experience, Jennifer?
Yes, I do because I was one of those. I was one of the women that until you helped me understand and taught me how important and crucial it was to lift weights. Because you're right. My fear was I don't want to bulk up. I don't want to look like a guy. I don't want to bulk up. I won't be able to fit into my clothes properly. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. Furthest thing from the truth. So I was one of the ones that was 10 miles on the treadmill, and I remember one day he said, "You're going to run your butt off, literally." And literally, it did. It sleeked it down so much so that I was like, my husband was like, "Hey, your butt looks great and firm, but where is it?" Because genetically, Delcine and I, we have badunkadunks, right? But I was running. I think I don't know. It was just so off balance. I was just doing all cardio, and I wasn't building the muscle that I needed in certain areas to help tighten and complement my physique.
Mm-hmm. Right. And so what happens with that, for those of you who are tuning in and understanding, trying to understand, when we do cardio, your body accesses a different source of energy. It accesses carbohydrates and a little bit of fat in order to have the energy to do that. And if it doesn't have enough carbohydrates, then instead of attacking fat, which you think you want it to do, it will attack lean muscle tissue. And your lean muscle tissue will be used for energy first and foremost, after it's used all the carbohydrates. Now, what happens in addition to that is, after about the age of 35, okay, um, our as women, because of our natural hormone changes. Estrogen decreases, testosterone levels decrease, progesterone and other hormones change in the percentage. We lose about half a pound of lean muscle mass every single year. So if you don't do
Mm-hmm.
anything different from what
Mm-hmm.
you've always done, and you notice that all of a sudden everything is saggy, baggy, and hanging, is because you're starting to lose muscle mass and you haven't changed anything in your diet. And you wonder,
Mm-hmm.
I'm doing the same thing I used to do.
Yeah.
I'm eating the same foods I used to eat. But it's because you're losing muscle mass. And
Mm-hmm.
muscle is the most metabolically active tissue. Meaning, in order to keep muscle, you have to build muscle. In order to keep muscle, you have to feed muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And most women always want to go cardio and eat hardly nothing. The exact opposite of having a fit, strong, and energetic physique.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, say that, girl. No, so true. No, but it's so true. I mean, I kind of was fed that same, fad of, oh, just cardio and you would look great. And as our bodies change, the composition of our bodies change, we need different things. And so you're absolutely right. I think it was around the age of 35, 36 for me. I realized, okay, you know what? I think I better start incorporating the weightlifting, but I didn't until later. But the improvement, what I realized is that when you begin to lift and utilize weights in your workouts, the results and effects are very vivid. And for me, it was quicker than I felt, all the cardio that I was doing. And I know you're coming, I literally just worked out, so I may have a little bulk right now because the lactic acid and
You
everything
do.
like
You're looking
that.
good, girl.
Well, listen, wait a minute. Do people know that you actually have all training, like videos and all,
Probably
diet
not.
plans and all that?
I need to
Okay.
start putting that stuff out.
Well, you need to because every time somebody says, "Why you look like this?" Well, my sister used to, and I just kind of just blast all about what you've done. But literally, from all of the things that you've taught me in the videos and with eating and how to properly lift and the exercise videos, I've learned how to build muscle to tone and then even show a little bit of flex and look good in my clothes. So I even put some guys to
Hmm.
shame. I'm just saying.
Of
So.
course, of course. And the thing about it, I used to tell women all the time is building muscle is like sculpting your physique. You can't sculpt your physique with cardio. You're
Mhm.
only going to get skinnier,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get tone and you're not going to get fit.
Right.
Muscle is like carving and chiseling
Yes.
out a piece of stone
I like
and
that.
putting the shape where you want it to be.
Yeah.
And the other thing, too, that I love about building muscle is I can eat food and a
Yes.
lot more food than I ever have by having muscle.
Yeah.
The more you decrease the food that you take in because you're trying to lose weight, the weaker your body gets, the lower your basic metabolic rate is. And let me explain the basic metabolic rate.
Mhm. Yeah.
The BMR, basic metabolic rate, is the least amount of food your body needs in order to survive. That's breathe, have your heart beat, blood pumping through your body. All right? So let's say your BMR is already 1,000 calories. If you only eat 1,500, 1,200 calories, because women go down to 1,200 calories,
Mhm.
your body is basically just trying to survive. Do you think it's trying to build muscle,
No.
lose body fat, and do all these other things when it only has 200 calories on top of that to do? Get up, go to work, take care of kids, handle stress, take care of the husband, emergencies, all those kind of things? Not
No.
at all. You find yourself weaker, more lethargic, less less ability to do the things you want to do.
Mhm.
Building muscle counteracts that 100%.
Yeah.
And as we get older, we have a little bit more time, we can
Mhm.
be more discerning, and we can really pay attention to building and sculpting the physique. You're never going to get, well, like my husband or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Darian Yates or all these huge guys unless you take steroids.
Mhm.
Unless you take
Yeah.
steroids
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's all you do
Yeah.
every day. It is
Yeah.
hard to
Yeah.
maintain a
Yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
muscular frame.
Yeah. Just by the simple fact that we as women we carry more body fat than men.
That
Um
is true.
and let me ask you this, so for women that say, okay, okay, fine. Okay, I'll try. I want to get into it. And they have the sense of trepidation and fear. What's the easiest way to begin to start lifting? How can they get into just at least trying? What would be the best way to start?
Okay, well, two things.
Hmm.
One, if you want to start at home, and then the other one, if you want to go to the gym. So,
Okay.
the first thing that you should do when you start at home is use the weight of your body weight exercises. Super simple push ups, squats, okay, and planks. Three main exercises that will target your lower body, upper body, and your core, because that's what everybody wants, right?
Yep.
So you can't do regular push-ups, do push-ups on your knees. If you can't do push-ups on your knees, do push-ups on the wall. And then for squatting, use a chair as your kind of like your guide when you're going to
Hmm.
squat down and sit. Use a chair, sit down and stand back up. Sit down and stand back up. Do each one of those things 3 sets for 10 repetitions, easy, 3 times a week. Something very simple. And when you do planks, you can do planks on your toes or you can do planks on your knees, wherever your level is, and do that and hold for 15 seconds or 30 seconds or 60 seconds. But you have to start. If you are the very, very basic beginners,
Hmm. Hmm.
push ups, planks, squats, and push ups. Yes, those three basic things. Now, the other one is if you want to go to the gym and start, most gyms have these universal machines. If you don't know anything at least about it, ask for a personal trainer.
Hmm.
So you can do one body part 3 times a week. So you go like a Monday, a Tuesday, and a Friday. A Monday, Wednesday, and a Friday, because you got to give yourself rest. And only spend 15 to 20 minutes in the gym. You do not need a long time to be in the gym. Now, in this stage of my life, I go to the gym. I want to get in and get out.
Yeah.
I'm like 30 minutes. I gotta go. I gotta go. I got other things to do.
Right.
Before, when bodybuilding was my life, I would spend an hour, maybe 2 hours.
Couple
But
times
that's
a
a
day.
yes,
Yes.
several times a day. But that was a whole different level
Yeah.
of thinking.
Yeah.
Now I spend 30 minutes of doing cardio, very slow, very methodical, and I'm studying on my cardio machine. And then I do 15, 20 to 30 minutes of weight training. And I'm able to maintain my lean muscle
Woo!
mass. Look, I mean, I'm a little uneven because I've had surgeries here and there and all that stuff like that. But,
Still look
and
great.
look at Jennifer. Jennifer, I bet they think you're really heavy. How much do you weigh?
114.
114 pounds. And look at those shoulders. Look at those arms. She is fit. Look at that. Lifting weights hasn't made turned you
No,
into a 200-pound gorilla.
no, mm-mm. No, it hasn't.
And the fact that once you start lifting weights and start adding muscle, you can eat more, and you should definitely eat more. Muscle needs food. You have
Yeah,
to feed the muscle.
yeah,
If you starve yourself, you are not going to get muscular. You're not going to develop fit, lean, trim muscle. Because I said get muscular because women hate to hear that word,
yeah,
muscular. Yes,
yeah.
you're going to get a sculpted physique.
Yes,
Does that sound better? A
yes,
sculpted physique
yeah,
where you look like you care about your body,
yeah.
you know?
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, and it works. It works. And you feel good about yourself when you begin to see the results. That fear just leaves. You're like, whoa, I want more of this. And then the fact, I love that you're on the point. We're foodies.
I got to eat my good,
We're
delicious
foodies. We
food.
are. We're foodies.
Don't
We are.
give me no rice cake and peanut butter. That's what I used to have when I was bodybuilding. I'm sorry, I ain't doing that no more.
Right, we're foodies, and the fact that you can eat, protein is your friend. I mean, I love the fact that I can do that and still get the results that I want. And this is the thing, like Delsina said, that's very doable. The planks, the squats, and the
Push ups.
push-ups, that's very doable to start off. Or either like you said, the universal machines in the gym, very doable. Don't be afraid to try. What are you going to do? Blow up like Popeye the next day? Not at all. It takes time, right? It takes
It
time.
takes time. It takes time. And I would recommend like 4 to 6 weeks. You will definitely see the strength,
Hmm.
right? When you do that, you will definitely see the strength, and you will begin to see a little bit, you'll be able to feel stronger. You'll be
Hmm.
able to feel more energized.
Hmm.
You'll be able to feel more confidence. That is automatically, that's a quick return on investment for
Yeah,
3 times a week, 20 minutes a day.
so true.
Okay,
So true.
and it is so doable, and you just start at home. That's the biggest thing. You can start at any age. Ernestine Walker, who is still the oldest bodybuilder, she started at 57. She
Wow.
started weight training at 57, and she has maintained that physique all through this time. I've been talking to a few older women who are in their 70s and like, oh, my
Wow.
arms are just really loose and weak. What can I do? There are things you can do. You can do wall push ups. As a matter of fact, I just sent a video to mom so she can start doing wall push
Well,
ups. I said,
right.
if you do wall push ups where you basically are pressing your hands up against the wall
Mm-hmm.
and pushing
Pushing in.
against the wall, you
Okay.
are going to see, you're going to feel stronger, you know. And you might think, oh, that can't do anything. Look, anything done consistently is going to show in, you're going to have results.
Yeah.
But if
Yeah.
you do zero things, you're going to have what? Zero results.
Results. Exactly.
Start
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah. Yeah. And
And
those wall push-ups helps too with, when you're waving hello and your arms are saying goodbye. That whole.
hello, and the wives are saying goodbye. I know. My son Stefano, I mean Esteban, used to always
Yes.
go behind grandma and squeeze her arms. It
You
would
start
piss her
grabbing,
off so much. And
grabbing
then he
her.
started doing that to me when I took a break from him. I was like, boy, get off of me. Oh my God, kids will make you feel so bad.
So
And
funny.
this is the time when things start sagging, and we don't need
Mm-hmm.
more things sagging. I mean, the boobs already sag by themselves,
Right.
right? But you don't, there's no excuse
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
to have, you know, to be, like I used to say, a skinny fat person. You can be a
Yeah.
skinny fat person. That's
Mm-hmm.
someone who is low in weight, but totally unhealthy because they're full of body fat. Their body
Yeah.
fat is high.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, when you look at the body fat scales, they still very restrictive, but 30% and below is fairly healthy. Believe it or not, I am like more like 33 and 34% right now, which is a little is high for me. But I'm working at it, and most of my fat is in my lower back, my bra line, and
Mm-hmm.
down behind there. If you look at my front, you can see my abs, but that tells me that I'm still at a percentage of fat that for me I want to reduce because I don't want to have all that stuff going on in the back.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want you to come. I don't want my kids coming around pinching the back of my body. See,
Right.
you got body fat back
Right.
there,
Right.
but a
Mhm.
good body fat, so somewhere between 25 and 30% is a good
Yeah.
healthy body fat.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, most women are closer to 40% body fat.
Oh, yeah. And we got to be careful with that because if you get it around, with menopause, that around that midsection, that visceral fat is so unhealthy. We need to
It
be
is.
very mindful of that.
That visceral fat around the midsection
Mm-hmm.
is it puts you at a higher risk for cardiovascular disease, atherosclerosis, and other types of metabolic diseases like type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you start to develop muscle mass, you're actually going to decrease your risk of these types of diseases. You're going to
Yep.
decrease your risk for diabetes. You're going to decrease your risk for heart disease.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just a matter of vanity. It's a
Yeah.
matter of health.
Yep. Yep.
It
Outside
is a
and
matter of
inside. Yep.
outside
Mm-hmm.
and inside. So if you have a busy day and you have to choose between cardio and weight training, what should you choose?
Weight training.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's only 10 minutes, if
Mm-hmm.
you have to choose, always choose weight training. The weight training results will stay with you for a long period of the day because it has a metabolic function. I mean, it has to break down, build back up, get back stronger. All those actions that are happening in the background
Yeah.
are making your body use calories, burn calories, and get healthier. When you do cardio, let's say you do 300 calories of cardio on the machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you finish, you're like, woo, that's good. And you go eat a bagel, guess what? You put
Oh, you
that
put it right
300
back
calories right
on.
back on.
Yep.
Right back
Yep.
on.
Yep. So true.
Not the same with weights, not the same with muscle mass.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I
think
love it.
about that.
Yeah, yeah. We have to, we're going to have to talk about, and this will be on another one of our segments, but also with eating. What are some good? Now, I love the fact that we can eat, but still, certain things like you don't want to go eat a deep fried battered Snickers. Okay, no. That doesn't mean, and they have all that in the South. Listen, they have deep fried Oreos, deep fried Snickers. Listen,
Deep
deep
fried butter, I heard.
yeah, deep fry. I would never try. Well, no, I would never
Deep
try that. I
fried
yes,
butter.
it's chunky.
Oh
Yes,
my gosh, I can't imagine that.
that's just yeah.
You have to really have a hankering for fat.
You just that's an intravenous plug to cardiovascular disease. Right?
That is
But yeah,
crazy.
So certain things, even though we say that you can still eat while you are, doing weight training, there's still some things that just to be mindful to steer clear of. And at some point we'll have to talk about what are some good foods and some good foods that are you would consider cheat foods, but are still actually very good for you.
Mm-hmm.
Um, with
Yeah, so
especially with
because what you're
Thanksgiving.
saying, yeah, because what you're saying is basically we don't have to starve ourselves. We don't have
Right,
to be on diets. We don't have to be on crazy meal plans. But you just want to be conscious of what you're putting into your body. I
right,
mean, it's like, if you have a little baby and you're trying to see them grow to be healthy and strong, you're not going to start feeding your kid, giving them a straw and sticking it in the gravy of a turkey that you just cooked, right? You're not gonna give that to your baby,
right,
but we
right,
do that when we eat high fat, high sugar, high fried foods. You would
right.
never do that to a baby because you want them to be healthy. So
Yeah,
when you start to get older, you got to think about quality of life.
yeah,
Quality of life. Weight
absolutely.
training is quality. Eating good is
It's
quality. And we're going to
quality.
talk about that more in another program. But for the most part, if you want to start building muscle, you need to at least try to get in 2 to 3 times a week. And
Hmm.
when you're starting, do a total body workout each day. So you can do those push ups, those
Planks.
planks, and squats.
Hmm.
Start with that. And if you want more specific information, I'm a personal trainer. I'm a coach. You can always contact me at delcinawest.com or go to my Facebook page or get in my DMs and I can help you to create a program that fits your lifestyle. Because another thing too is you can't go like Jennifer when you started working out. I didn't tell you, okay, you're gonna go into the gym. You're gonna do 2 split sessions,
No,
5 days a week. You're gonna do upper body in the morning, then you're gonna do lower
no,
body the next morning. Then the next day you're gonna do.
no. You no,
No,
you tailored it for me, and I love that. Even with the lifestyle, when are you even broke it down to what time of day is good for you to work out? What do you have to do in your schedule? What do what things are you comfortable doing? I love that. It was so tailored to me, and I think that's really important because a lot of times people think like, oh, okay, I want to look like that. Let me do what they're doing. It's not cookie cutter. It's not cookie cutter. So I love that.
it
Hmm.
isn't. Our lifestyles are different. What we value is different. What we have the opportunity to do is different. And that's why it's really important, especially if you want to get started on something like this right away, it's best to get with a coach who can, create something that fits in your life because this is a long term process. This
Yeah,
isn't a quick fix.
yeah. We're
It's
playing the long
something
game. We're playing the
That's right.
long
We're
game.
playing the long game. And so we want to build in longevity into something that you're going to do regular over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
And that is fun. And
Yeah,
that you see the
exactly.
results and that you
Yeah.
enjoy. And so when you start
Mhm.
putting on your clothes that fits
Yes.
right,
Yes.
ooh,
That's a
that's
high,
always
yeah, extra boost in confidence. It's awesome.
that is exciting to me
Yeah.
as I've
Yeah.
started, back on this journey with my weight loss and focusing more on being consistent with my weight training. I'm seeing my body getting shapelier, and I'm pulling things out the back of the closet. There's like,
All right.
yeah, can I put this back on again? You put it on, it's like,
Yes.
I can wear this now.
Right. Right. Right.
Who doesn't want that? And it's not about being skinny.
Right. It's
It's
not.
not about being skinny. It's about feeling good in your skin. When you feel good in your skin,
Hmm.
I don't think there is a better feeling for women
Yeah. Yeah.
because we're so beat down by society and everything, all the outside external, I don't know, negative influences.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
And then we take that on and we tell ourselves we are negative.
Yeah.
We are ugly. We are
Hmm.
not healthy. We are not fit. We're not good enough.
Hmm. Or it's too
We're,
late for me.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
never too late.
Right.
Speaking of late, my battery is dying. Hold on a second. Hey, husband, can you plug up my laptop? That's a good thing about having, oops, let me lift this up because he never wears a shirt. This man is always naked. Well, he's not naked, naked, but he just never wears a shirt.
That's all right. He has a great body. He may as well. It's all right.
That's why he loves to show it off. But we're going to be done in a few minutes anyway. But Jennifer,
Yeah.
so how do
This is on your own
tell?
location. It's okay. It's okay.
I know. Hey, this is a mobile practice right here. Um, this is a mobile thing. So tell me, Jennifer, what do you do now for your workout program?
Absolutely. Yep. So for my workout program, I do what's called like a metabolic effect type approach. So I am using dumbbells and I'm using the barbell as well. So I do for my shoulders, I do overhead presses, I do Roman deadlifts, I do squats. Um, I also do push-ups, which at first I started on my knees. Now I'm finally up to on my toes, doing them like regular push-ups. Yeah, right. Yep.
Yay!
Yep. And then I do things for my core. So I do planks as well. And I also do back to old school, literally the bicycle,
Yeah, yeah,
yep.
yeah,
And then flutter kicks where I'm extending my feet 45 degrees off the floor on my back, 45 degrees off the floor.
yeah.
Um, so, and I incorporate all three body parts. I do give myself a break because at one point I didn't realize that I didn't, that I had to give myself a break, like not every day, same muscles. So
Yeah.
I was to the point where I couldn't walk. So I had to, my legs were wobbling. And then as far as cardio, I no longer do high impact running for long periods of time. Now I like to run outside because I like the feeling of the breeze and seeing. I live in a very rural area, literally dairy, a cattle ranch and a dairy farm on my road. So
Well, we
I like
understand
looking.
that.
I like looking at that. So I will do a cool walk run now.
Nice.
And as you get older, you got to be careful with what type of impact you put on your knees and your body to make sure that you don't
Right.
overstress. So
Right.
as far as cardio, I may do that a good like 25-minute run maybe
Mm-hmm.
once or twice a week, but I will do like my 15-minute walk run.
Mm-hmm. See,
So
that's
that
good. That's
mhm,
simple.
mhm.
And you can fit it into your lifestyle.
And they're
For
not hour
me,
long workouts. They're literally 30-minute. All everything of that is 30 minutes, 30 to 45
yeah.
minutes. Hmm.
But what is the key though is your consistency. You've been
Right.
consistent in
Yeah.
doing it, and then you
Yeah.
can slowly
Yeah.
see the results. My workout is primarily I get up first thing in the morning after I have worship. I'll do 30 minutes on my bicycle because it's low impact. But if I need to do a heavier thing, then I'll do 20 minutes at a high intensity. But mostly it's 30 minutes, 4 days a week. And
Yep.
then I go into the gym. I do one major body part a day. So I'll do legs, chest, back, and then I'll do minor muscles, and then I try to do a little bit of abs just before I go to bed. I got my night clothes on. I lay down on the floor right before I
I
say my
love that.
prayers,
I
and I
love it.
do something for my abs.
I love
But
that.
that's it, and I don't do a whole lot, and I just maintain the consistency. That is the key to all of these things to maintain the consistency.
Mm.
So we're coming up to our time. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and realize that weight training needs to be your key tool
Mm-hmm.
in
Yeah.
becoming a sexy senior citizen. Weight training is how you sculpt your body, how you increase your
Mm-hmm.
metabolism. Because people are always talking about, how do I increase my metabolism? How do I increase my metabolism? Have more muscle. Have more muscle. That's
Yeah.
why your husband and you can go on the same diet. He can just only stop drinking soda, and you eat salad 3 times a
And
day,
lose.
and he lose 10 pounds and you lose 1 pound because they have more muscle.
Right.
Have more muscle. If you get nothing out of this session, gain more muscle.
Have more muscle.
That is the key for every woman out there. Next time we get together, we will probably be talking about nutrition a little bit more. If you have noticed, we're following through some of the chapters in my book, The Sexy Senior Citizen: How to Stay Sleek, Sexy, and Strong as You Age. It is a guidebook of the adversities that I've gone through with having to replace most of the joints in my muscle. But after each chapter, I talk to you a little bit about some tips on how you can start doing the things to help you to be sexier, to help you to live better, to make the rest of your life the best of your life. So you can reach me at https://delcinawest.com, or you can find me on Facebook at Delcina West. You can find me on Instagram at Delcina1965, and I'll be more than happy to help you out. Jennifer is my wonderful sister. We used to fight all the time when we were younger, but now we're like best friends.
Yes.
And she looks so good as a sexy senior citizen. I want you to have that in your life too. Thank
Yes.
you so much for everything that you do. Continue to watch for us every Monday at 11:30 Central Standard Time, 12:30 Eastern. Jennifer, any last words?
No, just make sure that you embrace who you are today and forever.
That sounds great. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye bye.